It's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to be using this Rubbernecker stamp called Floral Circle. I hope you can see that really well. And we're going to make a card with some markers. Look, I painted my fingernails first time in like 5 years. So I'm going to be using some silver embossing powder. It's from Stampin Up, and oh, it matches my nails. Isn't that amazing? And that wasn't even on purpose. Alright, we're going to be inking up our stamp with Versamark Ink, and hopefully we'll do a good job of inking and stamping. I like to stamp these big backgrounds upside down the way it is right now. I put my paper right on it. I've already used the powder on my paper, just making sure it's really well inked. And this is a watercolor paper that is hot press, so it's not really, it doesn't have a lot of texture to it. I just decided one side has more texture than the other, and I decided I better do the side that has less texture. Okay. I know you're shocked about my fingernails. You're saying, what's going on with that? I have no idea. I thought it would. I found it in my craft stash, actually, because the last time I used it was on a background that when I was doing marbling. And so I thought, hey, this will be fun. I had 5 minutes of boredom there, and you know me, I can't play for 5 minutes. It's too long for me not to have something going on in my head. So I had to do this. Okay, I'm going to use some scrap paper for my back to put my powder on once I hopefully get it to stick to my image. I'm not sure if it will or not, because it didn't seem like it was really adhering, but I guess it did. How shocking is that? So I did all this coloring and blending, and everything was just lovely, and then I talked about all of it, and then I found out that my camera didn't record it. These things happen. Anyway, here's what I did. I was sent this set of color pens. You got 36 of them from a company called Banggood. They're watercolors, or they're water markers, or water-based markers, and you can use them for blending, which is what I was showing you how to do on this, and how I was showing how to color in the background with it, and then use your water brush to blend out the color and make it you know, all a really beautiful background that's watercolory and really lovely. And I did all of the marker, you know, colored everything with the markers, and everything was looking really nice. And then I realized the camera didn't work. These things happen to me so often, don't they? Anyway, so I'll show you the blending with them. These people from Banggood gave me these markers to test so we could see if they worked well or if they didn't work well. And you know how I like to make sure before I do anything that I show you how it works for me and whether I like them or not. And so far I do like coloring with them. They're nice and juicy, and they like I said, there's a set of 36 of them in this, so when you do your blending, you can blend out with different colors, or using the same color and just using enough water to make it lighter. But when I did the other colors, I didn't have any trouble getting the purples to be nice and vibrant, or the reds to blend out. I thought, you know, sometimes you get markers and reds are really hard to blend, and these were not hard at all, so I really like them so far for blending. And you can see that even though they've been sitting here a little while, this is watercolor paper, by the way. It's Canson XL, which is a very inexpensive Walmart brand of watercolor paper, so it's not like I have, you know, expensive stuff. Here I did not use any products that I didn't think that you wouldn't be able to get. At least I'm hoping that you'll be able to get these papers. And I'm just coloring in between the silver embossing, because the silver embossing won't allow you to paint on it. it will wick it away. So I'm just showing you the blending technique of making a background. I apologize that the other colors, you know, that you didn't see me doing those. They should have, you know, they did work really well. I didn't have any trouble getting the colors to work, but that stupid camera, I do have trouble getting it to work. I don't know what my problem was. Well, actually, I'm almost willing to admit what I did, but I don't know. All right, I'll admit it. You know, I can't hold anything back. Here's what happened. I had my water bucket underneath where my camera is on the tripod, and I was pulling the camera off to put a new memory card in, and accidentally dropped it in the water bucket. I know what you're thinking. How stupid was that? But that's what I did. And fortunately, I did get it out of the water bucket before anything major happened to it. At least I thought I did. And I made 2 little portions of videos and had no problems with them. And then when I made this long 3rd video, all of a sudden, problem. So I'm not sure what the deal is, that why the first 2 didn't have a problem at all, and then the 3rd one did have a problem. But live and learn. I had an issue. I hope it's okay that you're hearing about the blending. I will blend for you with you know, with these other colors on other watercolor paper, so you can see for yourself what the other colors do look like. I'm going to have Rich fast forward through it so you don't get stuck watching a ton of it. Okay, here's another way you can do blending. In case you didn't know, I'm going to do it for you. You put it on your ceramic tile or plastic plate or something that won't absorb. That's the key. You don't want it to absorb it. And then all you're going to do at this point is use your same water brush and pick it up and then go in and just color in the background. This gives you a much more vibrant background than the way I was doing it. But if you have an area that didn't seem to want to pick it up the first time, this is a great way of making sure that your background is dark. The whole, you know, the whole background is colored in nice and dark. I think I'm going to die cut this out and maybe make it into either a heart shape or some kind of a shape that I can make it into a birthday card or a Valentine's card. I haven't decided yet. Okay, let me let this dry and figure out what I want to do for my background, and I'll be right back. So I thought I would show you a little bit more blending with these in case you were wondering if you can blend like a couple different colors together. So I'm going to just do pink and then a little bit darker and then a little bit darker. You just take your water brush . I think that, I mean, you can blend them really well and there's no more lines. I think they do a nice job. And then we'll do reds, and there are not a lot of reds in this set. There's like a red and then an orange and then more like a rust color. I'll just put those. And this rust color is kind of pinky like a pinky. You would think it'd be more red than it is. And then the brown is super brown. I thought this brown would be kind of more like a burgundy, but it's not. So we're just gonna blend these together. And the oranges and the reds, I think they do a nice job of blending. And of course, the brown is not going to be, it's not going to be red, but it blends out fine. And then we'll do the greens, so you can see the greens. I just wanted to make sure you saw the variety of colors that you get and the blending that you can do with them. I think the pink and the purples are really nice to blend with, and the greens, I had no problem blending my greens out either. Oh, I want to put this other green in here. It's kind of more of a, I don't know what we'll call it, frog green. That's what I'm calling it, frog green. Let's see how these all blend. They blend nicely too. I think for $12.99 it's a good deal, and there's no shipping on it. So in case you're wondering what I think of them, I think they're fun, just to play with, and to have a variety is big. 36. I mean, that's a good number of markers. But I never get paid for anything that I do, so I don't lie and say I like something just because. I tell you only if I like something, only if I really do. And I think this, for the price and for as many as you get, I think it's a good deal. And I think it'd be really fun to color mandalas with. And so anyway, that's the set that you get. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, I'll be honest with you. That's the thing I don't like about it. I would rip that plastic piece out of the bottom, because once you pull them out, you can't figure out where they go back in the slots. Just my own 2 cents on that, because you know how I like to tell you how things work. And I decided what I was going to do with my card. Get those out of the way. The next step with the card is I'm going to use my dies, my circle stitch dies. I'm going to cut this piece out with this circle, and then I'm going to cut a circle out, a bigger circle out of that, and then I'm going to make it a 5.5 inch square card, so it becomes an 11-inch long. Alright, I thought I'd do the envelope before I'd finish the card, and this is the cobblestone heart from Peg Stamps, and I thought I would stamp it randomly on the back of our envelope, kind of going back and forth, and yep, that looks good. And then I'm going to use the silver embossing powder on it so that it has that same look as the rest of the card. And then we'll put one in the front too, but for now I want to get all of these coated and back into the container. Heat this up. Stamp it in the bottom corner. Looks good. Put that on there, or 1,000 pounds of it. Okay, so that's our envelope. It's done now. It's got all of its little decorations on it. I used a couple different stamp sets. I used an old Stampin' Up set called Good Greetings that says Happy Valentine's Day, and I put it on a banner die that I don't know where I mean, I know a lady sent it to me, and I don't remember where it was made, sorry. And then the other stamp set is from the other one I use, it says You're the Best. I put that in the inside. It's from Fiskars, Petals from Scratch, You're the Best. Inside I put, excuse me, You're the Best. And then I've got the banner to go in the front, and I'm going to fold these little things that turn it into a banner, folding them under. I always get confused when I do these. Excuse me. I'm never sure if I have it right or not. I think it goes like this, but I could be wrong. Anyway, that's how I think that it works. Then I'm going to use my ATG that I don't really like, but I'm going to use it anyway. And a lot of people would have cut out the middle of this mirrored piece, but I didn't, because I was really afraid if I cut out the center of it that I wouldn't end up with anything, that it wouldn't look right, because the dies that I'm using are, there's no in-between size. It's either this size or the one that's the next one, and I didn't want to mess it up. Does that even make sense? No, but we're going with it anyway. Okay, that's my, I'm going to put this kind of down toward the bottom because I want to have room for my banner. I want to make sure it's kind of centered. It looks okay. Alright, then I'm going to put this up on some foam tape. That's my plan anyway. Let's see if it works. I'm going to go with it. Looks like that. And then my banner, I need to put, when you do this, you have to put a little bit of tape in between these folds. Otherwise, it does that. So I'm going to get a little bit of, I think I'm going to use those little glue dots. Okay, so I put a little glue dot behind each of these pieces so that this would lay like that. And then I think I'm going to put a little piece of fun foam along the back of the center of it, and that way we'll keep it elevated so that it matches the circle in the center and how elevated it is. So here's our back. See the tear tape on there? Hopefully you do. Is that straight? It looks straight, I think. Okay, so there's that. Then the inside we have the You're the Best. Then all we need to do is stamp the back. Made for you by Sandy Parker. There you go. And then our envelope, it's got the front and the back with the foily looking hearts. I hope you enjoyed this, that you learned a little bit about coloring with water markers, and that you'll be using some gold or silver embossing powder to make a really 3D look to your card. Please click the subscribe button and give this a thumbs up. Tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.